Good evening, students. So far we discussed algae, fungi, bryophyta and pteridophyta. Those are called cryptogams, where the invisible sex organs are found. The sex organs we cannot see with our naked eyes, and having a model that's called a gradation in the structure of their sex organs, right from algae to pteridophyta. Now we are going to the phanerogams, next branch, next higher branch. The phanerogams include the gymnosperms and angiosperms. The gymnosperms, here you can have the next, here you can find the development of the stem is well developed, and then you can find the male sex organs, female sex organs are developed, and so this is next to the cryptogams, the gymnosperms. Now let us see in detail regarding the gymnosperms, characteristics, classification and economic importance. Now you see the origin of this gymnosperms is gymno means naked. Naked means not protected, not covered, and then spermos means seeds. So the seeds are not protected, that is the seeds are not inside the ovary. Just if I am to see in angiosperms, you take mango fruit where the seed is inside the fruit. The outer part is called the ovary, and inside this ovule is developed into a seed. Whereas here there is no ovary at all. Simply these seeds are attached to the plant. So these are naked seeded plants or unprotected seeded plants, etc. The word gymnosperm is coined by Theophrastus in 300 BC. The phanerogams without ovary, as I told you earlier, if ovary is there, there is a fruit, whereas in this group there is no ovary, no fruit formation in gymnosperms. And these plants are trees, shrubs and climbers, and the dominant phase is a sporophyte. So just like in bryophyta and pteridophyta, here also you can find sporophyte and gametophyte. The dominant plant is sporophyte, it is diploid. They possess a taproot system just like higher plants, dicots, and the root of some gymnosperms are often associated with the mycorrhizal fungi or blue-green algae. This name, the mycorrhiza, we studied in fungi, where the fungi is associated with the roots of higher plants like gymnosperms, and in some roots they have blue-green algae having a symbiotic association. And stems are erect, branched or unbranched. Some plants may be branchless or straight, this just like a coconut plant, and sometimes you can have number of branches. The leaves are monomorphic or dimorphic. This is if all the leaves are of same type, that is called monomorphic, and different types, that is called dimorphic. Whereas here you can find scale leaves and foliage leaves. Scale leaves are very small, whereas the foliage leaves are very big. And the roots possess diarch to polyarch vascular cylinder. This vascular structure you have if in a root or stem the vascular bundles are having xylem and phloem in two groups, that is called diarch, and many groups of xylem and phloem, that is called polyarch condition. The stems show a characteristic collateral, endarch and open vascular bundles. Generally, I think you might have known the internal structure of dicot root, monocot root, dicot stem and monocot stem, where you can find in a stem the collateral condition. Even dicots also you can find the same conditions. The collateral condition, that is the xylem and phloem arranged in the same radius, that is called collateral condition. If the protoxylem is towards inside, that is called endarch condition, and in between xylem and phloem, when cambium is there, that is called open type, that is open vascular bundles. Next, xylem is made up of tracheids, while the phloem with the sieve cells without companion cells. Regarding the xylary elements, generally the xylem is made up of the tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. So regarding these tracheids and vessels, here you can find only the tracheids, no vessels. In the case of this phloem, here you can find sieve cells and without companion cells. But in higher forms like dicots and monocots, etc., we can find sieve cells, sieve tubes, companion cells. But in one genus in this group, that is genus Netum, it is having tracheids and vessels flowing with sieve cells and sieve tubes. It is more advanced form of gymnosperm and just nearly close to the angiosperms. So the plants produce cones and strobili. Instead of flowers, here you can have, they form into cones and strobili. So the first one is an example of cycas. This is a cycas male cone, and the second one cycas female cone. So here these cones are having a number of, this male cone having microsporophylls. A number of microsporophylls unite together to form a cone. In the same, the female cone, a number of megasporophylls or female sporophylls unite together to form a cone-like structure. So a male cone, just to have seen, having number of microsporophylls. Microsporophylls, each microsporophyll produces a microsporangium. Inside the microsporangium, you have microspore mother cells. So these mother cells, as I told you already, this is a sporophyte and diploid. So these microspore mother cells also diploid. They undergo reduction division and have haploid microspores. This haploid microspore develop into haploid male gametophyte. This male gametophyte produces antheridia. Inside the antheridium, you have a number of male gametes. A number of male gametes. Each male gamete produces each male gametophyte produces two male gametes. So these male gametes may be ciliated or non-ciliated. They may be having cilia or no cilia. Next we will see the structures. So here, this is the structure of a cycas, where you can find a microspore, and microspore germinate takes place and it gives two male gametes. These two male gametes, then they have flagella. This is just like a top shaped structure with rings of flagella you can find. So perhaps, but it is the biggest male gamete in the plant kingdom. The biggest male, this male gamete in plant kingdom is cycas. The next, in the same way, the female cone is made up of number of megasporophylls. Each megasporophyll gives megasporangium, that is also called ovule, that we will see the structure later. And the megaspore mother, inside you have many megaspore mother cells. They undergo reduction division and form megaspores. Megaspore is the female gametophyte. It gives archegonium, a number of archegonia. Each megaspore, then each ovule will have many archegonia, and this archegonium structure I will tell you the next. The ovules are orthotropous. Orthotropous means the straight ovule. In the ovule, the upper side you have a micropyle, and below you can find chalaza. The type of ovule is called orthotropous ovule, and it is having a single integument, that is called unitegmic ovule. So this is the ovule. As this each female gametophyte produces many archegonia. In the diagram you have two archegonia are there here, and sometimes you have many archegonia also found. And pollination carried out by wind. Through the wind, the male gametes are moving in the atmosphere, and they may be attracted by this micropyle, and they enter into this. Through the micropyle, the male gametes enter into it, where they germinate and give male gametes. Those male gametes fuses with the archegonium. The archegonium structure I told you already. In this structure, this is also just a broad venter and a narrow neck is there. And in the venter, in the neck, you can have a number of neck cells. In the center, neck canal cells. And in the venter side, a small venter canal cell and very big egg cell. These male gametes fuses with the egg and form the zygote. Then diploid stage again developed. Since many archegonia, another important thing here in this gymnosperms, many archegonia are there. Each archegonia develop into an embryo, so that you can find many embryo in the ovule. That is called polyembryony. Presence of more than one embryo inside the ovule is known as polyembryony. That is a common occurrence in gymnosperms. And then another important thing here, generally in angiosperms, the endosperm is formed after fertilization. Generally in angiosperms, we can call it double fertilization. One male gamete fuses with the egg and form one fertilization, another male gamete fuses with the secondary nucleus, and that is another fertilization. Double fertilization you can find in angiosperms, whereas here you can find only one fertilization. And among these, the fusion of the male gamete with the egg becomes zygote. It will give the embryo, and fusion of the male gamete with the secondary nucleus and form the primary endosperm nucleus, and endosperm develops. So in angiosperms, the zygote is diploid and endosperm is triploid, whereas in gymnosperms the zygote is diploid and the endosperm is haploid, because after reduction division from this female tissue the endosperm develops before fertilization, so it is haploid. This is another thing you have to remember. The endosperm in gymnosperms haploid, endosperm in angiosperms triploid. Double fertilization takes place in angiosperms. Here you can find only one fertilization found in the gymnosperms. So these things you have to remember. Gymnosperms do not possess any ovule, as I told you already. So after fertilization there is no formation of the fruits, only seeds are developed. And seeds having 2 to many cotyledons. Plants show heteromorphic alternation of generations. Here also you can find the gametophyte and sporophyte are different in size and structure, so it is a heteromorphic alternation of generations. And another thing here, have a germination is hypogeal germination. Hypogeal means the cotyledons remain in the underground only, whereas in a epigeal they will come up, just like what's called a tamarindus and also neem. These seeds, if you happen to see in winter or this rainy season, after germination the cotyledons will come above the soil. That is called epigeal germination, whereas here it is hypogeal germination. Cotyledons are just remain on the ground, and this plumule gives a shoot system and a radicle gives the root system below. So we have to remember another technical term, that is hypogeal germination, where the cotyledons remain underground. Next, the life cycle is given. So you take the life cycle of a gymnosperm. It produces 2 branches or 2 cones, male cone and female cone. This is given as a female flower, male flower, just like cones are given like this. So a male flower or male cone gives microsporophylls, microsporangium and microspore. This microspore mother cell here, this microspore mother cell undergoes reduction division and form microspore. In the same way, female flower or female cone and megasporangium, megaspore mother cell undergo reduction division and form haploid megaspore. This microspore give male gametophytes, megaspore give female gametophytes, male gametophyte gives antheridium and male gametes, and fertilization takes place between the egg and the male gamete, and a diploid oospore is developed. So diploid receive embryo is present in the seed, it develops into diploid plant. So the diploid plant is the dominant plant, and these gametophytes are haploid. They alternate each other and they show heteromorphic alternation of generations. Next, let us see the classification of gymnosperms. The Chamberlain 1934 classified gymnosperms into 2 classes. One is Cycadophyta and Coniferophyta. So you have to remember these technical terms. In just like in Bryophyta, Pteridophyta and gymnosperms, Lycophysis, Cycadophyta and Coniferophyta. They are further divided into different groups. The Cycadophyta, these are the characteristics of Cycadophyta. Characteristics: small plants, unbranched stem, you can see some examples, and foliage leaves large and compound, stem have thick cortex, wood is thin and soft. Such type of wood is known as monoxylic. Monoxylic, that is soft wood. Simple sporophylls. Simple sporophylls are very simple. The leaf is having sporangia. Next, this Cycadophyta is classified into 3 orders. Those are Cycadophylicales, Cycadales, Benititales. Now let us see the characteristics of each order. Cycadophylicales, these are fossils, but you cannot find, you cannot see, but you have see the diagrams only. These are fossils. Some thousands and thousands years back they were there. Now they are not present. They are formed into fossils. They show some characteristics of ferns and some gymnosperms. So these are a link between the pteridophytes and gymnosperms. So they show both the characters of ferns, or ferns means the pteridophytes and gymnosperms. So the next one, psychedophilicales. These are the connective link, as I told you, link between pteridophytes and gymnosperms. Example, medullosa and lignopteris. So now let us see some photographs or some diagrams here. You know, this is medullosa. These are all fossils only. Fossils, and what's called the aggregated and come together and give a picture like this. The plant may be like this based on the evidences. Medullosa and lignopteris. So just as a tree-like appearance and having big leaves. Very big leaves. The second one, cycadales. Cycadales, they have a palm-like appearance. Stem is unbranched. Leaves are large. Male gametes having ciliated. Very interesting here. Ciliated, as earlier you have seen, the male gamete of cycas. Cycas is example here. Wood is monoxylic. That is soft wood. The pictures are given here. This is the cycas. Generally you can find in the gardens, etc. And sometimes in houses also you can see. This is a plant, cycas plant, and this is Jamia. Jamia is a very small plant. And one example, Jamia pygma is a very small plant, very small gymnosperm, Jamia pygmea. The next one, benititales. Leaf bases are permanently attached to the stem, and here you can find the leaf bases are permanently attached to the stem. Example, Williamsonia and Williamsoniella. So here you can see, if you happen to see very closely, there you can find leaf bases are found on the stem. So these are the leaves. After reducing or after cutting, after falling also you can find leaf bases are attached with the stem. This is Williamsonia. The next one, the coniferophyta, largely trees with profusely branched stems. Foliage leaves are simple. Stems have thin cortex. Wood is compact and harder. This type is known as pycnoxylic. When the wood is soft, monoxylic, and wood is harder, it is called pycnoxylic, and complex sporophylls that you can see. So this coniferophyta is again classified into 4 orders: chordatales, ginkgoales, coniferales, needles. We will see one by one. Name first one, chordatales. These chordatales all are fossils. So chordates, we also have some photographs of these chordates. Another example is poroxylon. Here the fossil diagram is given here. This is chordatales. This is a long trunk is there, and you have large leaves and complex these reproductive structures. These are the reproductive structures. They are strong. And second one is the ginkgoales. Many fossils except one species, that is ginkgo biloba, so that we can call these as a living fossil. All species are extinct and they are fossils. And one species, that is ginkgo biloba, is a living fossil that you can see now. So this is the tree, ginkgo biloba tree. If you happen to see the leaves, these are the leaves. You can find 2 lobes, biloba. 2 lobes are there in the leaf, so it is called biloba, ginkgo biloba. Next, you can have this coniferales. Stem is branched, pycnoxylic, that is hardwood. Foliage leaves simple and reduced, called the needles. Here you can have the needles. Example, Pinus, Thusa, Sicova, and Araucaria. All are very interesting plants. You can see The pinus, the first one, where the leaves are needle-like leaves. Just like casuarina leaves, you can find needle-like. And this Araucaria, it is a garden plant, and this is also called the monkey's basil. Even monkey cannot climb easily in this plant, so it is called monkey's basil. And another is the Sicova. This is the tallest plants. Tallest plants. Sicova, more than 500 feet you can find. Sicova sempervirens is the tallest plant. This is a Sicova, this is pinus, and this is Araucaria. The last order in this Coniferophyta is the knee-tails. These are connecting link between Gymnosperms and Angiosperms. So these are the plants so having some characters of Gymnosperms and closely related to Angiosperm characters. This is the only order in Gymnosperms where the vessels are present in xylem. As I told you earlier, here regarding the xylem, it's having vessels are present here. In the same way, in phloem, the phloem tubes also present with companion cells in this netum. Examples: netum, ephedra, velvetia. So these are the examples. You can see the first diagram, netum. This is a climber. I can say it is a liane. A woody twinner is known as a liane. The stem is very long, very big. So this is a liane, and this is the ephedra. You can have this one. This is a medicinal plant, and velvetia. This is a garden plant. The leaves with the cones are there. That's all that is about the general structure and general characteristics of Gymnosperms and classification. And now the economic importance. In the beginning, you can see the ornamental plants. Majority of the plants are grown in gardens. Species of Cycas revoluta, Cycas circinalis, Cycas rumphi, Cycas bedomi. These are all garden plants. Ginkgo biloba is also grown in gardens. Thusa and Araucaria, pinus, taxus. These plants are all grown in gardens. Regarding the edible value, the stems of Cycas revoluta yields a sago. A kind of sago is prepared. A kind of starch is prepared from this, from which the sago is prepared. So sago, sago is used in the preparation of the spice, etc. Next, the seeds of some species of Cycas are roasted and roasted and eaten. Seeds of some species of Pinus edulis, Pinus pinnea, and seeds of ginkgo are edible. They are roasted and eaten. Regarding the medicinal value, the leaves of Cycas circinalis are used for stomach disorders, blood vomitings, and other skin diseases. Next, the seeds and bark of Cycas is crushed and mixed with the coconut oil and used on sores and wounds. So the seeds and bark of Cycas, and the oil obtained from Netum ula stored for rheumatic pains. These are used for rheumatic pains. The oil is used. And the volatile oil obtained from the shoots and leaves of thuja is used as a vermifuge, that is expelling the worms from the stomach. Thuja, this is the shoots and leaves of thuja is used as vermifuge. Taxol, a medicine for cancer, is obtained from the bark of taxus. The plant is called yew tree. Taxol, the medicine for cancer, obtained from the bark of taxus. Timber, the wood that is used to prepare the tables and benches, etc., is prepared from the wood of Pinus, A.V.V.S, Cedrus. Cedrus is called generally deodar. Sicova or timber yielding plants. The wood of Juniperus used in making pencils. This is a nice wood, very nice wood. So it is used in the pencils, and scales and holders, that is called pen holders, etc., are prepared from the wood of Juniperus. Next, the species of Picea and the scrolls of this pulp wood, so that it is used in the manufacture of paper. For manufacture, they used to have the wood pulp that is prepared from the Picea species. Tannins. So these tannins are used making drugs and ink. Tannins are tannins and dyes also. Tannins and dyes. D-Y-E-S. These are the coloring materials obtained in tanning industry, and also making drugs and ink also from this wood of Tsuga. T-S-U-G-A, that's called Tsuga. Next, fibers. So the fiber Latum latifolium yields fiber that is used in making wrappers and nets. So the fiber is used in ropes and nets. The fibers used to prepare the ropes and nets. Next, resin. Resin, these are secondary metabolites they used to form in the wood, and they are used in different ways. Different ways you can use the resins. One is called the Manila copal, a type of resin. It is used, generally the resins are used in varnishes and paints. This Manila copal, a varnish resin obtained from Agathis species. Agathis is a gymnosperm, from which species the Manila copal is prepared. And another is called the fossil resin. It is obtained from the Pinus saxifera. Pinus saxifera. So now some examples given, some photographs of these resins. This is Manila copal, that is Manila copal, that is resin is cut into small pieces and dried and used, and it is sent for market. This is fossil resin, these are big pieces, they are prepared. Next, resins, another is the turpentine. It is very important for all paintings, etc. This another is this one called Canada balsam. Canada balsam, it is obtained from A.V.V.S. balsamia, biological properties. But this previously for the fixing of the slides which you can see in the classroom, botany and zoology slides, where in older slides around this you can find light yellow color. So previously that is used as a mounting media, but nowadays it is replaced by DPX, that is white and transparent. Next, the Bordeaux turpentine, it is obtained from Pinus martima. These are all used in painting purpose. Photographs also given. This the first one, the Canada balsam, it is a transparent and a light yellow color. So that's why in olden slides, very old slides, if you happen to see, around the slide you can find this light yellow color. And Bordeaux turpentine, this is also just transparent. These are all used in painting purpose. Turpentine oil, it is also printing industry from the Pinus species. Another is called the wood gas, wood tar, wood alcohol from the various species of Pinus. For example, Pinus sylvestris, the wood tar is prepared. And the special features are important, what's called the topics you can remember are the tallest gymnosperm, Cicova gigantea. Cicova gigantea. And redwood tree is called Cicova. Pycnoxylic, already told, compact xylem, that is hard. Monoxylic, it is thin and soft. Maidenhair tree is ginkgo. These are the common name. Maidenhair tree is the ginkgo name. And joint fir is called ephedra. There you can find the stem is jointed like that. And sago palm, I told you already, it is prepared in the sago. Cycas revoluta, and the largest egg ovule Cycas. Smallest gymnosperm Jamia pygmea, and largest male gamete Cycas. So in the Cycas genus you have largest male gamete and largest ovule, and then ciliated, largest male gamete with the ciliated also Cycas. And living fossil, I told you already, this is only the species we can find remaining in this order or fossils are extinct. So Ginkgo biloba is a living fossil. And Christmas tree, the Araucaria, I told you already, monkey's puzzle, the tree called the Christmas tree. It is having closely compacted branches, and from a long distance we can see it is a cone-shaped plant. So monkey's puzzle, the next, that is called imbricata, Araucaria imbricata. And father of the forest, Sequoia giganteum, it is 5,000 years old, or it is having a 5,000 years age. This is still found in the forest, so it is called father of the forest. So by this we will conclude the Gymnosperms. Tomorrow we will go to the Angiosperms. Angiosperms, that is the structure of a plant and its root system, the leaves, stem, flower, fruit, inflorescence, seeds, etc. will done. Thank you.